During my finals in high school, I was really struggling, not just with exams, but with everything around it. I would sit down, open my book, and freeze. I just could not focus. I would always tell myself, I need to start, but I just kept finding ways to avoid it. Whether it was video games, Instagram, YouTube, or even something productive like cleaning. I would do anything else to avoid the work. I procrastinated a lot. The weird thing was that I did care. I wanted to do well. But every time I thought about how much I had to get through, it felt too big. It felt like too much of a heavy task, too much of a burden. I had so much to catch up on. And I think it's largely because I didn't know what I was working towards. I didn't know whether I was studying for the exam, for university entrance, for my parents, or for a job. And because I didn't know these things, it made it all so much harder to gain motivation. I felt lost and I felt as if I didn't have a purpose. Once when I was procrastinating, I was on YouTube and I came across this study with me video. I'd never heard of the concept before, but it intrigued me and I thought that I would give it a try. It was weird because once I started, the pressure of, oh, I need to study for 5 hours had gone. It was only short 50-minute incrementations. After a while, I started writing down how many Pomodoros I did each day. Just simple tallies. It wasn't on a fancy app or anything. I just used the journal. One day it was 2 Pomodoros, another day it was 5. But seeing those small increments of growth felt good. It felt good because even if they were only small, tiny little bits of progress, it was something I could track, and I slowly started to build confidence and trust in myself. It wasn't perfect, but I was moving. That's when I realized something in myself. I find a purpose in progress. Not necessarily the big results at the end, but the fulfillment I got in showing up every single day and making an effort. The thought of bettering myself, even with just small wins, felt so important to me. Once I started making more progress, it became less about exams and more about the mental behind it. It was about who I wanted to become and the disciplines that I wanted to put in place and able to achieve it. It was about who I really wanted to be. I wanted to be someone who was reliable. I wanted to be someone who people could look up to. And I wanted to be someone who did the hard things, not just for himself, but for the people around him and for the people that he trusted and loved. And honestly, that's all it ever really was. Just stacking up enough small wins, just enough to motivate me, to push me forwards, and to continue to grow. I often still fall back into procrastination. I still have days when nothing feels clear. And using a Pomodoro technique is not a perfect fix. Nothing really is. But it reminds me that when everything feels overwhelming, the best thing to do is to just start now. Not tomorrow, or not when everything feels ready, because you will never feel ready, you will never feel prepared, it will never feel like the perfect chance. The perfect chance is right now. Just 50 minutes. That's enough to get going. Whether it's getting started with studying, or with your passion, or with talking with someone that you haven't caught up with in a long time. Whatever you have held off for the future, whatever you don't want to tackle right now, do it. And once you get going, you'll realize that you were already further than you were before. Thanks.